Wait. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Bone, Blood, and Blade Legend of the Five Rings Chronicle. I am the Ravenous Archon. My name is Will, and I am so glad to be back with our group. Last we left off with our little trio of samurais. We opened up with four of them having survived the events of the cave and rushing away from it post-haste. They felt a shake of the earth as the inner cave itself collapsed. They shared with Soshi the truth of Aguro's condition, since he actually got to see him in the throes of the epileptic seizure himself. And they marched for a bit before stopping to let everybody kind of rest and let Aguro kind of come back to himself from all the excitement. Crane set down the story that everyone should kind of adhere to make sure that everybody was on the same page as far as the events that occurred. And then the Soshi managed to send off the major part of the story back to his superiors at the encampment to better prepare them for their return. And then they had Doji kind of sit down for a tea ceremony, and then they actually got to see how much the anxiety and the turmoil of the events have taken a toll on him, as he could not bring himself to actually perform the tea ceremony, and our little dragon friend actually had to step up and go through the motions for him. They finished up. Crane washed himself off in the river, and as night descended on them, they managed to find their way to an abandoned temple that Aguro had seen on the way up. A fog rolled in as they were approaching the temple, so they took defensive precautions, stealthily crept up onto the temple grounds, and they heard some shuffling, and as they ran around to try and corner the individuals, they found there were Nezumi in the temple, living off of the land and whatnot. They realized that the temple was to one of the Thousand Fortunes. This one was for Ji-Zo, the Fortune of Mercy. The Soshi vowed to not verbally harm any of his companions until after the next sunset as a show of mercy, kind of giving thanks to the temple for everything it was providing. And then there was a nice little moment where they got to see Aguro really become childish, full of childish energy as he tried to speak with the Nezumi, exchange his rice ball and some of his liquor with them. The Nezumi in turn offered to watch over them for the evening. Still didn't stop Doji from having first watch. And as people were trailing off, there's a little moment where the Doji and Tamori Mori kind of both noticed that Aguro's gaze lingered a little bit too long on the dragon, but he quickly dismissed it and just turned over for the evening. We left off with them the next morning, about to arrive in town. I think that's where we're going to pick up with everybody. It's good to see your faces again. I will let you know that somebody has been watching our L5R videos on YouTube, and they absolutely love what you guys are doing. So kudos to you guys.
Is this a mysterious person?
Is it like somebody we're not supposed to know who they are?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say their name out loud like that.
Am I gonna watch this?
That's who they
be
are.
On a list. I don't want to be on a list.
I hope you're not on the list. I just want to say that you guys earned that. You know, you guys make this seem easy. Even you, Ray.
Wow.
So to clarify, we have earned the esteem of a viewer.
You are, yeah.
We've accomplished our goal.
Yeah, someone on the internet likes what you guys are doing. Good job, guys. Pat yourselves on the back.
Whoever you are, I will find you.
Don't find them.
You probably just scared off our only fan.
Okay. OnlyFans? Wait, what? What are we doing?
No.
I'm sorry. I'm listening now.
No.
I wasn't allowed to link that.
Money.
Yeah, don't show your feet for free. I learned that early on. You out here showing your feet for free?
No.
Not on my watch.
No.
No. Have more respect for yourself, bro. Charge.
Yeah, we get $2 or $3. Who knows?
Yeah, come on. $1 a toe. So morning has come. Between Aguro's snoring, the gag in Soshi's mouth, and some of the environmental noises, there's not a lot of the night terrors that actually make their way out of Soshi's room. There's just a bit muffling, which can be attributed to kind of trying to find a comfortable position to be in. You're not in your own tent. You're out in the wilderness, especially for a Shugenja. It's understood that the good life is what you're used to.
It's not just a matter of my profession, it's my clan. The good life is all I'm used to.
I'm sorry, I failed to hear that you're crane now?
I'm staying
I said good life.
Good life.
You're right. We live a superb life.
Are there any morning routines that you would like to divulge for each other?
I would probably, I always do, I wake up early and I would probably...
Point to the sky?
Sorry, my dog just ran upstairs.
Okay.
They're not supposed to go upstairs.
Oh.
So I would probably wake up early and start breakfast. And I would wake up a guru to help me.
Okay. Yeah, he wakes up. He's like a zombie in the morning. You know that he.
Oh yeah, he's definitely not a morning person.
Not at all. And he's just kind of lumbering around like a gorilla. Just if he grabs.
I give him the simple things to do.
Yep.
Yeah, but if he's a gorilla, I mean, we're all sleeping in the same area except Soshi. Like, then I'm gonna be very upset when I wake up.
Yeah. Yeah. Like.
Well, I get up at least an hour later than everybody else by default anyway.
You're upset until you start smelling the eggs and whatever else we found.
Found chickens?
I remind myself today I have made a sacrifice for the spirits, and I will be exceedingly pleasant. And then I go to I wash myself in a little basin, and then I go out and greet the day.
You see that everybody's kind of like already been awake and doing things, while a girl's moving around and helping you. You notice that he is very careful not to make noise or to watch his feet around Tomori Mori.
That's a rarity, because he normally doesn't give a shit.
Yep. Like when he's clear of them, he is lumbering. He's dragging his feet. He's fucking dragging his armor. But like the second he comes back into the room, like everything is like tiptoeing. The hands come out. He tries to balance himself.
There's definitely like a side eye as an awake. Like Mori opens their eyes and is like, because it's not like they're fucking silent outside.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, outside the room they're like bang, 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 bang. Then inside the room they're like a mouse.
Yeah. Like he asks 3 or 4 times what Doji wants him to do, just to verify. Incredibly loud outside.
Like a loud whisper. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like a stage
whisper. Doji,
yeah.
Should I gather the eggs?
Yeah. And then if he forgets something like inside the room, immediately it becomes a very forced but still loud whisper. And you see that he's kind of like, he cups his hands around his mouth to try to silence the noise, and it only makes it amplified because he doesn't understand science.
And the first word that comes out of Mori's mouth is sweet Buddha. Shut up.
I would like to roll a
Sure.
a
First roll back, baby. Let's go.
I would like to roll I think it would be etiquette to know who's the name of like the one or two most popular matchmakers in the crab.
Ooh,
Oh, boy.
That's gonna be a rough heraldry
Well,
roll.
hold on. Remember what my sister does.
Mhm.
So maybe I have some kind of connection to it. Because my sister is a matchmaker.
Yeah.
I might also say courtier. It might be an option.
Oh,
because there's a skill of the court.
That's a good call. You know what? Yeah, I'll let you roll either heraldry or courtier, and they'll have
courtier.
They'll have different difficulties. So heraldry will be a little bit easier because of your sister's attachment. Courtier will be a little bit higher than average. So we're gonna go with courtier.
Okay, I'm gonna go with etiquette. No, with heraldry because I actually have it.
Okay.
And I get an additional dice because of my perfect memory.
Yeah. You remember how to add the dice?
Yeah, I just did.
Okay. 13. Terrible roll.
You will
okay,
die
I guess
alone.
I just didn't remember. Yeah. No, because I wanted to. My goal was to strike up a conversation, but I don't remember the names.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say Oguro.
The name that comes to mind for you as you try to kind of like think back to one of the names that maybe your sister has told you, doesn't come to you, but you do remember that at one point before you got married, you remember that there was an aunt of his that wanted to set him up with one of the other families. But he was in his kind of like, I'm gonna go, into the Shadowlands and prove myself kind of phase. Then he discovered the travesty that comes with being epileptic.
As Doji is talking his way through this little mystery.
Well, the thing is, I just wanted to bring up to Oguro if he has spoken to any of them. Well, I'm basically poking to see if maybe before I draw my sister into this, I want to make sure there's not a match that's already set.
Gotcha. Well, what is Soshi doing?
Well, I got a 21 on courtier to piece together his ramblings to get the answer he was looking for.
Oh. Given the context of what you've seen and how the doji is kind of tiptoeing around the subject, you definitely are. You can see that he's trying to find out if Oguro is spoken for.
Ah. Oguro. I have a question for you.
Just one?
Yes, just one.
Excellent.
I've made a pact with the spirits, and I plan to keep it concise today. Have you a betrothed or one whom you are either promised to or someone is planning on promising you to?
I give the look of, what the fuck are you doing?
His eyes dart into Morimori's direction, but he immediately looks down to avoid any kind of eye contact whatsoever. And he's like, no. No.
Excellent.
I'm gonna go get water. And he
arm across face, like fucking.
And then I look over at Doji, and you can't see the beatific smile behind the mask.
The giant smile and smirk behind your mask.
I have the kindest smile on my face because this is the first time I've done something for a friend without any kind of expectation of repayment. This is my This is my way of helping. I was blunt and upfront, and I didn't use subtlety, and I didn't lie. This is a new thing for me, and I am so proud of myself.
Which is oddly the exact opposite I was going for at that moment.
Which is why it's comedy, and I love it.
I love it.
It's always good when you explain comedy.
Yeah.
Always.
Oh, that was perfect.
Always.
Doshi,
But he rushes, grabs a bucket, and I'm gonna get some water. And he's gone.
Tamori lets out a very low growl. Both of you, cool it. And then it's like a look between both of them. Because I know
I look at Tamori all innocent like and just go, I didn't say anything.
I look at Soshi too.
I was trying to muddle through what Doji. I was helping. Doji seemed to be struggling, and I was attempting to help.
I am helping.
I have helped, and
I am in danger.
Not in danger.
Come
on.
Tamori's son, have you ever met my sister?
We are not discussing this.
I'm just curious. I don't know if you've ever met her.
First of all, I'm already pissed because I woke up because of loud noises, and now all of y'all.
I know you're angry, and then I put a plate in front of you of chicken, sausage, and eggs.
Listen, I could be angry and eating.
Tamori,
yes, but once you eat, you will no longer be hangry.
Tamori, I know it is not my place because I am the newest member of this group, and I don't know if I've earned that familial ability to speak so freely, but I think you could do worse than the fellow in terms of a match. You seem to be both large and capable of violence. And
I'm blushing all shades of red at this point, and just my hand.
Yeah, and I'm glaring at you, because you fucking started this.
I'm only saying what I have observed in the very, very brief time that I've known the two of you, because it is so obvious that it does not require the training of my clan, or I dare say any other, to pick up on the rather loudly and clearly given signals that I am seeing. Plus, from a purely symmetry standpoint, it is a great match. You are both, as I said, very large. Large and large go well together, from what I understand.
All right, what can I roll?
I love the
Tamori-san, let me ask you one question.
Whoa! I'm gonna roll. Shut the fuck up.
Hold on.
It's Tamori's turn to roll. Tamori hasn't rolled anything yet.
Yeah. I love that this is the whole premise of this is just like, hey, look, you guys have so much in common. You're both large.
Yep.
You're both huge. Your babies will be huge.
You got so much in common going for you. I'm glad we had the discussion.
I mean,
that's the energy
in
I'm getting.
Soshi's headcanon, they're also perfect because neither one is smarter than the other, and they will have much to talk about because they will have a very low bar that they have to travel along. He doesn't say any of that out loud, though, because he made a promise to the Kami that today was Nice Guy Day.
Tamori-san. Tamori-san, I have one question to ask you. Just one question, and has nothing to do with.
Let Tamori roll dice before we ask anything.
Has nothing to do with your feelings toward my best friend.
What do you want to try to do to get out of the situation so we can discuss what role this would call for?
I'm rolling stealth, and I'm fucking you guys can keep talking.
You can't hide as we're looking at you, right?
You can. Y'all are having your whole different conversation. I can hide. I can fucking leave. I don't know if I should be.
But I'm asking you a question.
No. I'm gonna get up and get out of the situation. Y'all are having your own conversation.
I willingly fail my awareness check to notice Tamori walking away because I can pick up on social cues, and obviously they are uncomfortable, which I did not mean to have happen. Because I am just being a good friend.
I seriously don't care because I kind of see them as a daughter, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I
today's
don't
nice
know
guy
how
day.
normal friends act with each other. I
Yeah.
don't know if what I just did was bad, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and let him walk away.
Let's have Tamori roll willpower instead of stealth, just
Got it.
to. Oh, excuse me.
This is all alien.
Well, fuck me.
Oh,
Fuck me.
fantastic.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Say it.
6! Yes!
6.
Absolutely. I want to fucking leave this conversation and I have to fucking stay.
You know that as they're just gonna keep talking to you about this topic, and there is a side of you that is like, okay, the right thing to do here is just calmly get
Be
up.
honest.
Don't show any sign that this has gotten to you. You know, what would Doji do? Just kind of bow and exit the room. And what ends up happening, please describe to me how much of a bull in the china shop you actually are when you leave this conversation.
Full anime nosebleed.
For your 6.
So, they're, so she's saying, like, the reasons why we should be together, and then Doji's trying to interrupt to say, well, you know, I was just,
You don't even know the question I had.
No, I don't.
You know, they don't.
Tamori may now, because I picked up on it and quite bluntly said, what's going on?
Whatever teacup or whatever plate that I was holding, I thought that I was going to just put it down, but I actually just crush it to the ground. Okay. And I didn't mean to, and I try to apologize, but it comes out as a grunt. Like, fuck. And I immediately get up and leave the room. And, like, I think that I'm being suave, but my large stature, large Soshi, it shakes the whole fucking wood.
Yep. One of the rice paper doors, as you stomp away, is jarred so much that as you leave, it just slowly plops down on top of the broken plate of food.
Doji, did
I look at the remains?
Did we do something wrong?
Set I had. I look at the remains of the set I had that was gifted to me by the crab. And at this point, I'm just leaving it here in whatever pieces it's in.
Yep.
I can mend that if you'd like.
I don't know. Once it's broken.
This is such an odd thing. I'm
Nice Guy Day is turning out so good so far.
I feel as if we have done a good thing for
100%.
our friend, but they are
100%.
not happy about it. And therefore, I don't know if this is a good thing. Normally, what I would do, of course, is I would give several good reasons why the match should or should not occur, and then I would make one of them want to do it. But obviously, that is not what this is. This is not an alliance. This is a match made in... not all are blessed with love as a match, and when I see potential for it, I want to encourage it.
When he says that, I let out a long, drawn-out sigh. Love is not always aligned with honor.
And that does not mean that when you have the chance to combine both honor and love, that you shouldn't take it.
They'll always come at odds. Trust me.
No. Not always. Sometimes love is where it must be. And Soshi is actually very... You don't get that hint that there's that smirk behind the mask or that subtle mocking edge. His eyes are actually very warm. He seems to be completely sincere with his viewpoint that love is the most important thing in a match.
So I reach down and I grab one of the cups of tea that are not broken.
Yeah.
And I hand it over to the scorpion.
He holds out his hand.
I put it in your hand, and I grab one, and I to you, and I drink.
I raise it and lift the mask a little and take a sip.
I then slide you a plate, and I know damn well you won't eat it in front of us because you have to take your mask off. And I look at you and say, I'm going to take a walk.
It occurs to me that this has been a fine day. I made a deal with the kami that I would be friendly and pleasant, and in doing so, I have achieved what I do normally, which is everybody is leaving me alone to eat by myself. This is a fine lesson that I've learned this day.
As we push forward into the arrival back at town, we will notice that there are makeshift towers that have been erected in the center of each of the encampments. There is a loud kind of buzzing of people, of coming and going. There is a hell of a lot more people present that weren't there when you took off at the beginning of this kind of trek to follow this lead. And as you start to emerge from the forest line, you hear horns. At first it's one, and then two, and then you hear 6 of them go off, and a small contingent of what looks to be a scouting unit of members from each of the encampments starts making their way towards you. Their weapons are drawn. And at a bit of a distance,
I calmly pick up my hair and turn around so they can inspect my neck.
Yep.
I follow suit.
Yeah.
I look at them like they're crazy.
Yeah. And they do kind of yell out at a safe distance, "You will be inspected."
I believe that you are here because I told you we were coming and have been giving you several updates to keep you apprised.
They look at each other and one of them's like, "We have orders. You will be inspected."
Yes. Can't wait.
But it's very simple. They just kind of pull the collar aside to make sure that you're not scratched in an X fashion in any way, shape, or form. And there is a Shugenja with them that kind of like goes through the motions, and you can feel the water kami kind of, it's very surreal in that you feel it swirling around inside of your body, but the way that it makes itself known is by forcing you to cough, and you notice that the Shugenja just kind of like cups their hands and catches the little water elemental that it summons from each of you. And there's just like this little exchange where this, for lack of a better image, this little clear blue translucent adipose kind of sits there and gives them a little salute to show that you are clear. And then it just kind of lets it go onto the ground where you see it just disperse into the soil. They are well. They are who they are.
The first thing I need to do is I need to go to the lion and then to the phoenix to tell them what happened to their Shukenja and samurai who went with me.
The crane
and I have to give back the lion sword that I'm carrying because my sword broke.
The crane that's there is like, "Sir, the Daimyo gave us specific instructions to bring you to him when you arrived."
I have a almost relieved smile behind the mask because that examination apparently didn't detect anything weird. And not that there's anything weird to detect with me, Now
Is
I know
there
that.
something you haven't told us?
Nope, I said there was a smile behind the mask.
Mm.
That was internal dialogue.
Would it be improper of me
Don't be
to
suspicious.
give
Don't be
this
suspicious.
blade? Would it be improper of me to give this blade to the doji who's here to give it to the head of the
Yes.
lion? Okay, so I need to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Would it be improper of me to walk into
the lion are the only other hard asses about honor.
honor? So would it be improper of me to walk into seeing the doji carrying a lion sword?
Like on your waist, yes. But if it's
Okay.
in your hand, no.
So I will carry it in my hands.
Okay.
Would you like me
Because I
to
was-
have a messenger dispatched so that the person you can give your new sword to will be there to properly receive it?
Or I could do it.
No, I need to give this to the doji. Well, whoever's in charge of the lion
I'm
here.
saying that if we are to meet with the Daimyo, we could have the doji meet us at the Daimyo.
Okay, so yeah, I like that idea. I will tell the doji who's there to get me a blade that I can put on my belt when I see the Daijo.
Yep.
And meet me there now. Like you're on a horse, go.
Yep.
Or are they on ponies?
No, they're barefoot. They're on foot.
Okay, then run.
And he does.
We will walk to give him time.
Yeah.
Run.
And you're escorted to the small fortress that the daimyo calls home. And by the time you're climbing up towards the court room itself, the doji comes running in and has this nice looking crane, obvious crane coloring, crane art, craftsmanship, katana, and he holds it out to you, head bowed low.
I give him a bow of thanks. I take it, and this is not a gift. This was an order, so I just take it and put it on my belt.
But the head magistrate comes out of the room, bows low to everybody, and then steps back into the room, holding the door open for you, and you see him unceremoniously taking the position of what should be one of the servants as he kneels down next to the door to close it or open it as is necessary for this meeting. The only ones inside the daimyo's room are the daimyo himself, the Sapun bodyguard, and the head of the Ashigaru magistrates.
Is it possible that the people I've been sending reports to would also be present?
No.
Okay.
No. This is a specific ask just to have you guys come in.
Okay. I bow.
You see that the daimyo himself, looks slightly disheveled. He wears the depression on his face very clearly. He looks like he's been in a very bad state of mind. His kimono is kind of not pressed. It looks like he's been wearing the same one for at least a couple of days. There's a bit of 5 o'clock shadow in the places that you realize were shaved before. And there are a couple of what look to be turned over very nice ceramic bottles that you have seen before in other courts, and these are bottles of sake. So it looks like he's been in his cups.
The daimyo's from what clan again?
The daimyo is part of the imperial family.
That's right. Okay.
He's a miwa.
He's a drunkwa.
But he motions for you to come inside, and once you do, the escorts bow and then make their way back outside of the fortress. The Ashigaru closes the door and just kind of sits there very stoically. The Sepun is standing just to the left and behind the Miwa. The only other person you notice now is behind. There's a silhouette behind the back rice door, which is also kneeling, and you imagine could be the historian, or at least somebody to kind of take note of what is going to be discussed here.
So I will walk in, leading the group because I was kind of put in charge. When I kneel,
I believe that.
I leave. It's gonna be weird because I'm carrying 2 katanas. I'm gonna play it safe. I put my katana to my right and the lion's to my left.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because I don't know if I can trust everybody in this room.
Obviously, he doesn't mean his best friends.
And when I drop to my knee, when I drop to my knees, I do bow with my forehead touching the ground.
Okay. He hiccups, composes himself, pulls the kimono tied around his shoulders. You see him kind of making him, like, gussying himself up. He goes, Doji, yes, please, your report.
Okay, so I'm going to use my storytelling to make the lion and the phoenix sound as heroic as humanly possible. Even though they didn't die really heroically, it was like they basically stood there and got melted. I will not let their reputation be tarnished like that.
Nice. Okay.
And I will be very careful to brush over the fact that the scorpion wasn't there. Because I don't want to make an enemy of a scorpion who's standing 10 feet away from me.
Smart. Okay.
Yes. So hurtful that you think that I would be bitter or have a grudge.
Not today. Today's nice guy day.
Today's nice guy day.
You're not in your 20s anymore, baby.
I gotta. That's wow.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll your storytelling. Use your extra die.
A 20 without the extra die. You could roll it and add it to it.
I will. Add a 10. That explodes into an 18 total. So that'll replace your 6. So 18 and 5 is 23 and 9 is 31 is your new total.
Wow.
There is a moment where you notice the Ashigaru has to shift because he is showing emotion. Like, he is touched by what you're telling him, what you're laying down for the court. The Sepun just kind of is nodding as he's taking it all in. But you notice that every so often he just keeps looking down at the Daimyo to gauge what response he should be having. Daimyo glazes off. And halfway into your story, you can see that he's already kind of like scrounging for one of the bottles, trying like shake it, seeing what has what. And once you're done, the Sepun clears his throat and the Daimyo looks over. Yes, good. How long until you can stop this? It has come to my attention that there are Imperial agents in my city, in my village.
I don't think you understood, my lord. I try to use the etiquette to try to say this as delicately as possible
Mm-hmm.
and remind him that my sword broke when I striked at the damn thing.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, roll your etiquette.
Doji.
19.
Add one.
At what?
1K1.
Oh, yeah.
Because
7 more, so 26.
because I'm a Soshi and I can cast my trickery spells without any obvious sign that a spell is being cast, and now he is much more socially graceful.
Oh my god, he is actually the nice scorpion today. What the hell?
Today's nice guy day.
Today's nice guy day.
Tomorrow's not so much.
So yeah, it's an extra 1K1.
Yep.
Plus my air ring to all social rolls, and my air ring is I want to say a 3. Yeah,
Air ring is
a
so
3.
So 7 that I rolled plus 3 is 10, so it's 29 total.
Nice.
Yeah. The Daimyo nods, and you see the gears turning. You can see him kind of digesting what you're saying to him. And he goes, these are not the same that we faced in Shiromori Sato.
No, my blades bit into those. I have never seen one as big or one with acid blood like these.
Hmm. We need to stop them before the end of this championship.
I bow with my forehead touching the ground and I say, agreed.
As I have said, and you see him start to sober up. Like your words have hit home, at least in some way, shape, or form. And he says, as I've said, there are Imperial agents in the city. There are reports that are finding their way to the throne. This is a tipping point, I think, for all of us. If I am successful, it is because you are successful. If I am seen as a failure, it is because you are all failures.
My head has not left the floor, by the way.
Mm-hmm. I am merely a reflection of the perseverance and the effort that you put into this. And if I find myself appointed to the Imperial City, I will make sure that those that help me get there also find themselves in positions of comfort. If I am not invited to the Imperial City, I can also ensure that the opposite is true. You are dismissed. And immediately the Ashigaru opens the rice paper door.
I get up, pick up my blade, put it back, pick up the lions, turn around and walk out. I don't say anything. I don't even wait a minute.
And because
you know what?
cannot help
that
myself,
was a threat. I lock eyes with him, which I know is a big no-no. But I lock eyes with him for just a split second.
Okay.
And then I walk out.
Give me... Hold on. Because he's locking eyes.
Okay.
And so before you try to be a nice guy,
Oh no,
He
I was going to say
he just
I was in the
threatened
process
me
of
and
about.
all my friends and the people I love. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would be a
before-
little pissed.
I will let him do his thing. I had a thing ready that was going to get me in trouble.
Oh, no. Roll. Damn. I think I'm gonna let you decide. Do you want to roll Courtier, investigation, or sincerity to pick up on some of his subtle nuance as you, for the briefest of instances, break the caste system that has been a part of your world for at least 800 years. And you do the one thing that would have a peasant killed in the street if they ever locked eyes with you in this way. But you notice that there is this lack of movement on his part.
I'm gonna use sincerity.
Okay.
And I'm using a void point.
Okay. Do the thing.
So you want me to you want to roll the void point and
I will
just
roll the roll point. Yeah, roll the roll point. A 9. You are getting good rolls from me.
46, bro.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Do not mess with a crane.
No.
It might be a moot point in a second.
Yeah. The moment your head comes up, you notice that neither him or the Sepun have moved. The silhouette behind him is gone, and only the Ashigaru is remotely showing any sign of an emotion right now. The Sepun is a stone statue, stoic, living up to his family's credentials. The Miwa looks like he is fully aware of what he just did to you, to everybody in the room, really. Like, this is not the same thing that you noticed when he told you to straight up murder whoever killed his brother. This is a methodically malicious man. This is self-preservation in its purest form, and unfortunately, I think for Doji and for Soshi in particular, this is par for the course as far as regional daimyos are concerned.
I know this is normal politics.
Yeah.
But
this is a Tuesday.
But seeing that he did this,
I don't think you've ever been on the receiving end of this. I think you've heard stories.
Yeah, I've heard stories, but the thing is that the fact that he's doing this while drunk is dishonorable, and my stare reflects that.
I do not give a stare.
Okay.
Instead, as I rise, thank you, Divine One, for this audience. And the trip to the Imperial City is a long and far one from here. It seems that you will need. I would not want to see you tire. And judging by the room, you could use more provisions for your journey. I'd hate to see you get thirsty.
The Sepun steps forward.
And I'm going to roll
sincerity. Dismissed.
I'm going to roll sincerity
Do it.
So that insult, calling him a drunk,
Mhm.
is something he just has to fucking deal with right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that is the point of sincerity. And
You are
I've got
you are trained in it too, so lash out.
I'm being and deceit is also something that I'm very good at, and that was a outright lie, hoping he's okay and calling him a drunk.
Yeah.
I've got the 1K one from Benton's Blessing still going,
Yep.
and I'm not going to spend a void point. I'll fail on my own terms.
There you go.
So
make sure you hit the middle one for the trained.
Well, I'm an expert in deceit.
Oh yeah. So emphasis actually.
Yeah.
The E, the last one.
Yeah. This is something I'm good at. I'm good at asshole comments that are disguised to look like other things.
Yeah, of course you're.
Holy shit!
And then add 1K1 to that.
Yep.
So clearly, this Daimyo is completely out-skilled by both the Scorpion
41
and the Crane.
Plus whatever but this is important. I want to hit a 50 if I can. Because I want this to be the king mother of put you in your goddamn place and you have to take it.
Yeah.
Mr. President.
Yeah, I rolled a 10, which exploded into a 4, so that's a 14, which will replace your 7 as your lowest.
Well, it's adding another 1K1.
Oh, it's adding it? It's not replacing it?
Adding another, add 1, keep 1.
Yeah, so you've got 55 total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want that to be the coldest social bitch slap that this individual has ever been forced to deal with.
Now, here's a big question. Did Tamori actually notice me do that? Because they've always noticed me being calm and cool in every social situation.
Well, here's the thing. Y'all are loudmouths, so I was waiting for my fucking turn.
I am so sorry. Go right ahead.
Yeah.
I just wanted to open the library on someone in a position of power.
No.
Yeah, no, you did. And you did. You did. The whole Library of Congress, in fact, for the 55. But yeah, you see the doji get up. There is, I think, a visible cue that I think Tamori would have picked up on is that there was definitely a much more aggressive putting away of the blade than you've ever seen with him. Like normally, it's like routine. It's a machine with a doji, with a crane in particular. Like he grabs, puts, stands, leaves. This was like snatch, hold, and then a methodical kind of like stabbing into his obi of a belt before standing up.
And I pick up the lion blade with a flourish.
Yep. But both of them, you see them have a moment with the room, with a greater purpose than just a daimyo, it seems. How do you want to exit the room?
Well, here's the issue.
Yeah.
Is that I think you guys forget how young Tamori is. Because they're not thinking that logically or that much.
Here we go.
But they've been pissed off since the beginning of the day and had to walk in silence with both of you and Aguro. So getting into this meeting, they've been glaring since the start at whoever looks at them. So if you would like me, after these fucking comments have been said, to roll for intimidation by just my looks, I'm more than happy to do so.
Oh no,
that would be fucking awesome. Do it. Do it. Normally I would be like, oh no. But the way my character feels right now, he would be like, yes, please.
Intimidation is a social check. Tamori would get the 1K1 plus my air ring to the to trying it.
Okay. It is up to you then if you want to roll for it or just kind of let it sit in the room that you are furious as you stand up to leave.
Roll for it. Roll for it.
And then add your 1K1.
Oh. A 9. So 35.
Holy shit, we're all amazing.
38.
Oh, 38. Yeah, plus.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Thank you, Soshi, for adding on to my fucking anger.
It's a good guy.
I am here to make your anger the most productive anger that it can be. Because in my headcanon, it's the air commie subtly changing things like, voice patterns and ways to make someone more appealing or whatever. And all I'm picturing is like these air commie just in the back of his head whispering, "Pussy," to the daimyo as he's being glared at,
do you notice that?
So hold on. So what does my crab brother do in all this? Because he's in here with us.
He's not there.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
okay.
Just us.
He's not there. Yeah. The moment that the doji gets up and leaves, the moment that the Soshi gets up and leaves and has his little comment, the daimyo and the seppun unfazed. If they are phased, they have worked very hard not to show it. The moment that your foot comes down to push you up into a standing position, the seppun actually takes a step back. And there's a reflexive kind of slide of his hand over to the wrist of his other hand that's on his katana. And it's not threatening. It is very much a defensive position that's very clearly meant to be protective of the daimyo at all costs. But you know what fear looks like. And this is a man who is afraid he's going to have to do something that he does not want to do. And as you stand up and start walking out, I presume.
And there's a hint of a bow, but it is fucking barely. It's like I got up and pretended that me getting up was the bow.
Yeah, you see
smile.
Awesome.
The smile behind the featureless mask is jagged and ecstatic right now because that
is so awesome that you hid the bow in getting up. That's epic.
Love it.
Because he can't say shit.
Nope.
Tamori's one of my favorites. I love Tamori.
Yeah. And there's a moment where the daimyo looks unfazed, but the seppun is constantly just like looking at him, looking at you, looking at him, looking at you. And there's just like this raised eyebrow of like, if he's going to let this slide, you are one of the luckiest samurai. And sure enough, you step out without being called out. And the second the door closes, that the Ashigaru closes the door behind you, there is an unseen ease that is the equivalent of dropping a backpack full of bricks from this seppun. Because there was definitely a moment where his eyes widened. He immediately took stock of everything in the room, and you could tell that he was prepared to lay down his life for the Miwa.
He would have had to have. Tamori would have bitch slapped him.
Yeah, that would have been ugly.
Yeah. But all of you leave. Aguro is outside, just kind of pacing on the other side of the little balcony.
I thought that was very productive. I feel like we accomplished
that. Okay, as we're walking down, I look over to Tamori, and I give a smile. And I look at them and go, "Are you okay?"
Not a word from Tamori.
You're fine.
Oh, okay.
I keep walking.
I think
as soon as I get to Aguro,
can we take a second just before we all separate? Tamori,
no, I was gonna say we should go someplace that we can speak in private.
I just wanted to say that in the last few moments, I have watched Doji look at the sky when he's normally used to looking at the mountains. I've seen Tamori cause one of the most fearsome people, potentially in this encampment, to set back on their heels with but a look and a glower. And I have told someone in a position far above my own that they are a drunk to their face. And there's nothing they could do about it. Let us celebrate these moments that the three of us have accomplished. We have broken the chains of our social obligations, and we have lived to tell the tale. This, my friends, is Friendship Day. And I am very happy that we're experiencing it.
A girl comes up behind you and is like, did they make you wear chains in there?
I let out a slow, long sigh that Oguro knows is frustration.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Agoro and I hold up my one hand. Manacles typically aren't made for me. And then I
was going to say that would have been completely futile.
We are in a position of great jeopardy.
Are we though?
Yes, we are.
And jeopardy implies that we have a chance to fail.
Yep. Well, there's only one thing to do in Jeopardy, and he grabs. You see a girl just pick up the doji and start running out of the fort. It's time to drink.
My wife is going to kill me. At least take me home so I can drink with my wife and you.
Tamori Mori. As they run off, and it's just the two of us alone.
Actually, I was going to yell Tamori to keep up with us.
Okay.
May I trouble you for just a moment? Then, for my sake, if I offended you, I want to apologize. I'm not used to comradeship. It's not anything I have much experience with. I've worked with others on teams before, but not in this. This feels different. This feels different than an assigned partnership. Feels like mutually assured success through companionship. And I think I might like it. However, I don't want to allow my inexperience, and I'm admitting my inexperience in this matter to you, to offend someone that I am starting to consider with a certain amount of fondness and affection, that being you and Doji. I like you, and I don't want to inadvertently anger or offend you. It's not my intent. It just seemed like Doji was attempting to make an offer on something that I thought you might have wanted, judging by how he brought it up. If it was overstepping, I did not mean to. I will say, however, for my part, you could do worse, and you do seem to like each other.
There is they intake the information, and they're very stoic. And this is one of the few times that Tamori has been just stoic. With a very small breath, they say, "I'm not offended. I understand." And they walk away by themselves without telling anyone where they're going. And they're going straight to their tent, but they are pissed the fuck off.
Okay.
And they storm off.
Yeah. As each of you shoot off in your different directions, you will notice that there is an invitation with the Imperial Seal as well as the Lion Clan's Mon. And there is an invitation to meet at the Bayushi's tea house at your earliest convenience, as you are invited to sit with a Kitsune Koji. And this is where we're going to leave off for tonight. So as always, thank you guys for being a part of this, for coming back to L5R. I've missed it.
I missed you.
Incredibly.
I missed this. I missed us.
This is definitely one of my favorites. So as always, thank you guys. Thank you, the audience, for being a part of this. We couldn't do this without you. And as always, before we go into the outro, I want to give you guys a chance to kind of plug whatever you're doing. So we'll start with you, Ray. What are you up to, and where can people find you on the interwebs?
At Ray of Moonlight is my Instagram, and there's nothing super fun on there, but there's some pictures, so like them. I don't know.
Ooh, pictures.
I'm going to be here every Tuesday because I'm here for Wild West and for Legend of the Five Rings.
You sure are.
So,
two very different characters.
No, they're exactly the same.
Almost. Pete, what are you up to, and where can people find you on the interweb?
Well, I just finished the first draft of the rules for the second edition of Rotted Capes, which is a game that I helped write all the rules for Paradigm Concepts. It's a superhero zombie mashup game that's tons of fun. And you can find me on Instagram at StatMonkey.
StatMonkey.
And that's StatMonkey. And I will be running events at Origins this year and at Gen Con.
Ooh.
So you can find me at both.
Nice. Ben, what are you up to, and where can people find you on the interweb?
Here mostly. This is where I can typically be found on the internet. On Twitter, I am RevBenPowers. Right now, I am planning on running my first 7th Sea game with our illustrious game master here.
Oh.
I'm also planning on putting together a Everyday Heroes game soon, which I might stream on my own channel.
Nice. Do it.
Thank you. I
Do it.
Here, yes. So that I might do. I might stream a game, which I have not done in a very long time. So I'm very nervous about doing it again. So I might start recruiting, maybe even from the Ravnos Archon Discord.
I will punch you in your throat.
Which is a thing.
Don't you poach my talent. But as always, thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for allowing me to be your storyteller and take you on a journey. When I wrote the attitude that this guy was gonna have, I was like, they're gonna hate this motherfucker. And you guys took that very viscerally and ran with it. I appreciate you guys.
Hey, here for you.
But as always, on the channel, we like to make sure that people know that it is okay to not be okay. We take mental health very seriously here. So if you feel like you need help, just know that there are resources out there for you. If you're watching live on Twitch, there's going to be phone numbers in the Twitch chat. If you're watching on YouTube later, they're going to be in the description box, so don't worry about it. If you're not in the United States, there is a link going up to help you find the resources nearest you. So don't be afraid to kind of look them up, because there are people out there who want to help you, who are interested in getting you the help that you need and listening to your story and kind of giving you avenues to help you deal with the that demon or that stat monkey that's on your shoulder, however you envision it. There are people out there that can help you and that want to help you. So just know that the resources are out there for you. As always, be aware that Mondays here on the channel are for Vampire the Masquerade. Tuesdays, like Ray said, are split up between Legend of the Five Rings, like you saw today, and next week will be Werewolf the Wild West. And every other Thursday, we do have our own 7C campaign, which I hope Ben has not taken any of my storylines for inspiration. You can see me on McStabber Studios on Wednesdays, starting in June, for their Dark Ages campaign. On Wednesdays, like I said, and then Fridays, I will be running a short Star Wars campaign for them all throughout June and July. So that is going to be so much fun, I hope. So as always, thank you guys for being a part of this. Thank you for joining us as an audience, and we will see you when we see you. Please have yourselves a good night. Bye.